It's time for fun with watches with your friend, the Watchdog. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. It's time for fun with watches.
Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the OUMASHI VK63 powered chronograph with the Arabic numerals. Let's start with the wrist check. I'm wearing this Bernie 2285, and Greg was wearing my Playdin 3641. I just reviewed that watch. If you haven't seen the review yet, be sure to check it out. Grogu said that he has a new friend that he named Huggy, because when he popped out of his egg, he gave Grogu a big hug and won't let go. I told Grogu he should teach Huggy about personal boundaries. Grogu said he doesn't mind the affection, but sure was difficult to eat his Grogu grams this morning. Alright, let's take a look at the watch. Comes in a fairly simple box, nothing special about it. It has the pillow, there's the extra link, and that's about it. But here it is. It's a nice looking watch. I really like it. I've been very pleased with this watch. This is the third OUMASHI on my channel. OUMASHI makes affordable homage watches of Swiss luxury watch brands. This particular model is obviously an homage to a Rolex Daytona with an Arabic dial. This particular colorway kind of looks like a Le Mans with the red 100 on the tachymeter. This watch is powered by the ever-popular Seiko VK63 Mecha Quartz, giving a smooth sweeping large second chronograph hand that ticks 5 times a second. The Rolex Daytona has become the most sought-after Rolex ever since Paul Newman's Daytona, which was purchased for $300, sold for $17 million at auction. This OUMASHI has Arabic numerals on the dial, which is not necessary as their traditional Daytona has markers instead of numerals, so universal in all languages. So these numerals are more of a stylization than a convenience for people who can actually read the numbers. The numbers on the subdials remain traditional. This watch comes in 4 different colorways. If you don't want this steel black dial that I chose, then you can have a rose or yellow gold two-tone with white dials. Or there is an all rose gold tone with a black dial. The watch is 39.2 millimeters if you measure at the bezel, 48.1 millimeters lug to lug with protruding end links. It's 13.5 millimeters thick, has a 20 millimeter lug width, and tapers down to 16 at the clasp. It weighs 140 grams on the supplied solid steel bracelet with 1 link removed. The bezel is a ceramic with a tachymeter. And since this is a VK63, the tachymeter is actually usable, although you're not going to use it. And there's the red 100 here, which is similar to a Daytona Le Mans. And then we have the dial. We have Arabic numerals for some of the indices. And then we have little tiny dots in the upside down triangle at the majors. And then on the top here, we have quite the word salad. Let me zoom in a little bit. It says OUMASHI Professional Design Complex Chronograph Brand Certification Chronometer. So yes, it's quite a nonsensical word salad. First of all, this is not a chronometer. And I don't know what a complex chronograph is supposed to be or what brand certification is. But once again, it's just a little bit of gobbledygook there. And then we have the hands, we have stick hands, and then we have the subdials. On the right is a 24-hour subdial. On the bottom is the running second hand, and on the left is the chronograph minute counter. Then on the middle here, we have the chronograph seconds hand. And this is a large, smooth sweeping chronograph. So you just unlock the top pusher, press it, and it starts ticking away 5 times a second. Press it again to stop, and then you have to unlock the bottom pusher, and you get an instant snapback. You don't get a fast rewind. And then go ahead and lock the pusher again. Then there is no date at the 4:30, but this movement has a date. That means there's a ghost date. Personally, I prefer a date. I wish it had a date. I know everybody complains about the symmetry if you put the date right there, but still a date's a lot more useful. Then we have a unsigned screw down crown, and the thread action seems just fine. It's a little hard to unwind, but not horrible. Pops nicely though. And then when you go to screw it back down though, it catches right away. You don't feel like you're going to strip it or anything. And once again, the pushers have locks. And these locks, they don't really increase the water resistance, but it makes it so you don't accidentally press it when you're in the water. And speaking of water resistance, I forgot to look it up because it doesn't say it anywhere on the watch. So let me look in the AliExpress ad. The AliExpress ad says 100 meters, and that's pretty standard for chronographs in this style. So I believe them. It looks like it would handle 100 meters. And then we have the crystal sapphire. I tested it, and I don't know if there's AR coating or not, but the reflection doesn't seem horrible. It doesn't seem great, but not horrible. So it must have some kind of AR coating. And then we have the case. The case is solid steel. It's polished on the sides and the tops, brushed on the bottoms. It has a nice shape to it. This is fairly typical for a Daytona homage. And then we have the case back. The case back is a screw down, and it takes a 31.5 millimeter tool to open it. And I checked because I have that particular tool. Underneath the case back is the VK63 Mecha Quartz movement. This is made by Seiko, and this is fairly standard in chronographs in this price range because it has that smooth sweep in chronograph seconds hand. And they're usually fairly accurate, and there's no issues with them. The only complaint I have about it is if the second hand's out of alignment, you can't change it, and you're kind of stuck with it because you can't even pull the second hand and reset it, because once you pull a second hand off a VK63, they suggest getting a new hand because the instant snapback is so abrupt it can fall off. So you always have to have a fresh hand if you ever remove the second hand off of a VK63 or 64. Then we have the bracelet. The bracelet has solid end links, and we have screw pins, and the heads are fairly large, so I didn't have any difficulty sizing this. And the clasp is unsigned, but it has on-the-fly adjustment, which is nice. And it's just your basic oyster style fold over clasp. But I've been very happy with this clasp. You can always get the perfect fit with a clasp like this without getting out any tools or anything. Here's the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. That looks nice. That wears nice. Unfortunately, though, I only removed one link. So if your wrist is much bigger than 7 3/4, you're going to need some more links. And I don't know if the OUMASHI place where I bought it from will supply extra links or not, but you can ask. But this most clearly does not get the Joe Haynes seal of approval. Here we are in the loom room. Due to the Arabic numerals, only the major hands and the major indices are loomed. As we speed up the time, the hands disappear immediately. The indices aren't far behind. This is some of the worst loom I've ever seen. Kind of disappointing for a watch that cost almost $100. What I like about this watch, it looks and wears nice. I like these Arabic numerals. They're fun and gives the dial an exotic look. I like the red chronograph hand and subdial hands. And I like the fact that it has an on-the-fly adjustable clasp. What are my gripes and groans? Possibly the worst loom I've ever seen in a watch in this price range. Bracelet's too short. I only removed one link. And there's quite the word salad on top of this dial. Do I recommend this watch? Sure. Despite the horrible loom and word salad, this is one nice looking solid steel chronograph with an on-the-fly adjustable clasp. So I highly recommend this watch. Well, thank you for watching my review of the OUMASHI VK63 powered chronograph with the Arabic numerals. And I'll be back with another review or unboxing. Be sure and like this and subscribe to my channel. And if you like this watch, be sure to use my affiliate link and I'll get a tiny commission, but those tiny commissions do add up. And I'd like to thank my Members Choice members. Last time I looked, there was 11 of you, and I'll be reviewing the Members Choice watch real soon. And members get a week-long head start on that review. Bye.